What's up? What's going on, world of YouTube? This is RJ Game News USA here, and today we're gonna go over a game that I am super excited for that's coming out today, as of the time of this recording. Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. Now guys, I gotta say, you all know, if you know anything about me, I love the Xenoblade Chronicles series. Xenoblade 3 is my favorite. Xenoblade X, I caught it towards the tail end of the Wii U, and I enjoyed it, but I do think that giving it the Definitive Edition upgrade treatment like they did to the first Xenoblade will make it even better. And I am pleasantly surprised and happy to report that Xenoblade Chronicles X has an 88 overall on Metacritic. 55 positive reviews, 0 mixed, 0 negative. So I'm glad to see people are seeing it my way, that this is going to be a really awesome game. I can't wait to play it and put in months of work into it and enjoy it. I won't be doing it off stream though. So I'll have to come back with my final thoughts on Xenoblade X later. But we're kind of just now getting started. So why don't we just go over these review scores for Xenoblade X, and we're going to start with the perfect scores. Nintendo Life with a perfect score, saying Xenoblade Chronicles X is an expertly crafted revamp that gives us all the bells and whistles we could wish for in terms of graphical upgrades. Tech Radar Gaming with a perfect 100. The release of X Definitive Edition means that the entire Xenoblade quadrilogy is now playable on the Nintendo Switch. Yes, that's true. Now all 4 Xenoblade games are on the Switch. Xenoblade 1, 2, 3, and now X. X is a little side story and different than from the other 3, but it's just as big, it's just as robust. It takes like 250 hours to do a completionist run on this game. So it's actually one of the longer Xenoblade games. It's 69 hours according to how long to beat in the main story. So there's a lot of stuff to do in this game. Your character's a little different. You more play less the silent protagonist, who yes, does lack a little personality, but it more than makes up for in the side characters that help lift up the game. Of course, I don't think any game had a better party than Xenoblade 3. That's just me personally. Xenoblade 3 is still my favorite of the series, but X is a damn good game. Don't get me wrong. X is a damn good game, and I would recommend it to anyone. Washington Post with a perfect 100, saying, what if Halo was a Japanese role-playing adventure written by the guy whose pitch for Final Fantasy VII was rejected because it was deemed too dark and complicated? Yep, that hit the nail on the head. I didn't think of Halo as a comparison for Xenoblade X. You do have Gundams-looking creatures out there that are robots that you control. But that's an interesting way to put it. Inverse with a perfect 100. Xenoblade Chronicles X isn't a game for everyone. It doesn't have the kind of guided story that a lot of RPGs do, and its dense systems can be a lot to digest. But it's a game with a wholly unique vision, and only gets better with the more time you put into it. True! It's true. This game, it takes a while to really dig in and get the battle system, what you're trying to accomplish when you rank up, how you want to spend your resources. It's very MMO-like, and I'm not even much of an MMO guy. But once it clicks for you, once a Xenoblade game clicks for you, you cannot unclick that shit. It is awesome. But it may not click for everyone, so again, it may be too complicated for some like more simpler games. Not calling anybody stupid, I'm just saying, there's games that I play plenty of times, y'all see me on stream, where I don't get the system and I'm out. I'm saying, if you get the system, if you figure it out, if you give it a chance, and it clicks for you, it's gonna click for you. Destructoid with a perfect 100, saying instead of going the easy route, Monolith Soft went the extra mile and added meaningful new content and quality of life features that actually improved on what was already a masterpiece experience. True. So they do this with all these Xenoblade games that they've been remaking, or at least even the newer ones where they added DLC or they added an extra story. Adding more story to a game that's already this packed helps sell it to the people who played it a decade ago. Adding quality of life features was such a blessing for the first Xenoblade game, and I can't wait to see how it plays out in X, because it could use some quality of life features. So I'm excited as hell for both the added content and the quality of life features. Let's see. We have another perfect score from Player 2 with 100, saying, there were hardly any faults in Xenoblade Chronicles X experience to begin with, but with the definitive edition, elevates the game in every aspect. It's Monolith Soft's finest work revisited. So this guy likes Xenoblade X the most, apparently. Can't say I agree, but perfect score, you probably ain't that far off. Nintenderos with a 97 says X is the best version of one of the best RPGs ever made, with a lot of substantial improvements, new content that fans will enjoy, and a world of large dimensions. We are facing a must-have gem on the Nintendo Switch. And I do want to touch on that. We know the Switch 2 is right around the corner. We know they're going to announce the release date, the price, show off some games soon. This is truly the last great hurrah as far as a Switch game goes. I'm pretty convinced the new Metroid will be a cross-gen title. But this is the swan song. This will keep us busy while we wait on the Switch 2. For sure. And I've been dying for another Switch game lately. It's coming at the perfect time. Atomics with a 95. The best Wii U port to Nintendo Switch has they not only brought the adventure over intact, but also took time to consider those who had already played it and wanted a more polished product. That includes graphical improvements and quality of life tweaks and extra content. For Atomics to say this is the best Wii U port on the Switch is a lot. It's a mouthful. Especially considering when you got Super Mario 3D World and they added Bowser's Fury. They say no. This is the best Wii U port to the Switch. They saved the best for last. How about Hobby Consolus with a 93? If it was already a special game on the Wii U now, thanks to the changes, new features, and above all the epilogue, which is the extra content, Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition is also one of the best JRPGs on the Nintendo Switch. Yep, I second the thought on that. I echo their thoughts. How about a 92 from the Games Machine? By the way, so long into a review video and still having 90s is pretty good. They say Monolith Soft brings back to light one of the director's most singular JRPGs, originally buried in the depths of the Wii U. The absence of the gamepad is more than compensated for by the new content and improvements that refine both the pace of battle and the side quest. Indeed. So this game was built for the Wii U, so it has some certain gamepad features they would have to work around and fix. Sounds like they were able to. How about CG Magazine with a 90? Xenoblade X graces the Nintendo Switch with one final gift from its underappreciated older sibling, the Nintendo Wii U, bringing with it the best version of the already stellar JRPG experience. Yeah, guys, the Wii U, everybody looks at that as a failure or disappointment. You know what? There's so many great games from the Wii U that got ported to the Switch, including Mario Kart 8, including now Xenoblade, including Super Mario 3D World. the Wii U was very underappreciated, and I'm glad this game can move forward onto a much larger install base where hopefully it could sell really well, because I would love to see a Xenoblade 4. A ton of 90s, too many that I won't even go through all the 90s. IGN did give it a 90, we'll talk about them. Xenoblade X was already one of Wii U's best games, and this definitive edition has escaped the destruction of its old home like the white whale and settled down nicely on the Switch. Yep, people are really crediting Nintendo for finally making this happen. I've been waiting for years for this to happen. I could have sworn, I don't know. The whole time the Nintendo Switch has been around, I've been wondering, will they bring X over? And they finally did. They didn't just ignore it. A ton of 90s. And when I say a ton of 90s, guys, there's at least 2 dozen, maybe 3 dozen 90s here from critics that we're not all going to read. How about an 89 from Merlin Kazani? I haven't heard of them before. Saying, a unique sci-fi experience for RPG fans with an independent storyline and revamped gameplay. How about an 88 from Nintendo, which matches the Metacritic score? Saying, Nintendo Switch welcomes Xenoblade X, the missing piece of the saga. An immersive open world where you can lose yourself for hundreds of hours and enjoy an intense science fiction story that hooks you from the very first moment to the last. So I do want to talk about this. There's a lot of open world games that bore me. I get in there, I get bored right away, I'm out. But this is one that does not bore me. Xenoblade open worlds are so good. They're not empty. They're vibrant. They're full of life. There's creatures. You might walk across an enemy that's a level 90 and want to avoid him as a level 1 as you're walking to do your quest. And Xenoblade 1 and 3 in particular, I really love their worlds, their environments, the different creatures you ran into. It felt like a lived-in, breathing world where so many other games feel empty, where the quests feel like chores and to-do lists. The quests in Xenoblade feel rewarding with actual rewards you care about and actual stories from the side characters that you care about. And so I'm very happy that I'm about to play Xenoblade Chronicles X and get lost in that world. How about Mirror Station with an 87? Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition is the best way to discover or enjoy, again, one of the classics trapped in the Wii U for years. Yep, I second that thought. How about Spazio Games with an 86? Says Xenoblade Chronicles X was the last missing piece to recreate the whole quadrilogy of Xenoblade games on the Nintendo Switch, and this definitive edition makes it justice. The team worked on most of the things that didn't work so well in the original and fixed them. That is good to hear. That is good to hear. How about an 85 from COG Connected? They said, I've had a difficult relationship with Xenoblade games in the past. Uh-oh. They're enormous, unwildly beast that are weighed down with an endless mechanical system and floaty, disconnected combat. Uh-oh, I don't like where this is going. Somehow, all of this is applicable to Xenoblade Chronicles X, yet I still found a way to love it! I love it. I love it. Finally, they broke through for this reviewer. Xenoblade Chronicles X, it cut through the confusion, it cut through the doubt, and they finally love and enjoy a Xenoblade game. That is great to hear. We got a bunch of 85s. Now we'll go with some of the lower scores that I might disagree with a little more. How about an 80 from PC Mag, who says Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition arrives on the Nintendo Switch with new gameplay mechanics, updated graphics, and a fresh story chapter. The sci-fi RPG still has lingering issues, but it's easier to love and treat for the series fans. It would be good if PC Mag, instead of just saying there's lingering issues, would go ahead and say what those lingering issues were so we could properly critique the review. The fact they didn't is a little disappointing. I would have liked to dig into what the actual negatives were, because I'm failing to see very many. We got a good number of 80s in there. And actually, 80's the low score. So there's not a single publication that gave this game below an 80. There was multiple perfect scores, multiple scores in the 90s, overall Metacritic score of 88, all positive reviews. I mean, look, I do say this. This game is not for everyone. If you're like a 5-year-old that the combat's a little too complex for you, yeah, stay away from it. If you're somebody that you just don't like RPGs at all or open world games at all, just stay away from it. But if you're even mildly interested, give it a shot. Because I am, and I cannot fucking wait to play this game. I'm going to play it for days, weeks, and months coming up, and I'm going to enjoy it. And when I'm done with this game, I'm going to report back to you guys how long I played. I'm going to tell you guys what I thought. And I will say it's not eligible for Game of the Year on this channel because it is a remake or a remaster. It's a remaster. Or a definitive edition of a prior game. None of those qualify for Game of the Year status. Just like Paper Mario last year would have been my Game of the Year, but it didn't qualify for Game of the Year status. It was my Game of the Year back in 2004. So with that being said, guys, I guarantee this will probably be my favorite game I play all year long, unless the Switch 2 drops something truly awesome later this year, which they could, and most likely win my Game of the Year. But with that being said, I am super stoked to play. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Are you interested in picking up Xenoblade Chronicles X? I will catch you guys next time. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell on your way out. And I will catch you all later. Peace.